welcome to today's After School Club with junior designers for ages 6 through 10. We'll be making a top-down RPG game in Flow Lab. It's kind of like an old school Legend of Zelda game. We got a character moving like you're looking, it feels like you're looking down at them, and they're moving like around all freely. It's like a platform where we got gravity going against you and such. If you haven't seen anything Flow Lab before with us, you can always go to our website. Here it is. You go to DoSpace.org after school. Here you can see like what we did for the previous weeks. You go down for the younger age, there's activities archive. Down here is like all these links to like previous week's videos. Over here, and then on Monday Junior Designers here, you'll see what we're doing for that day. And yeah, I'll learn how to make a like top-down simple game. This is part one for our last 2 weeks for game design. So part one, we got like we're doing new movement and then some simple artificial intelligence. And then next week we'll be like adding some like attacking and other stuff and health and stuff like that. So to have game Flow Lab open already, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna click on the annotation, highlight, there you go. I'm gonna click on new game. And then I'm gonna wait a little bit, waiting for it to process. I'm gonna choose empty project. There we go. And then within here, anywhere, I can create anything, but first I'm gonna go to settings, just like last week. I'm going to settings, set things up. I'm gonna set this to 0. I'll make this a little wider, how I want. You guys can make it however big the space you want it to. I'm gonna name this top down RPG. I'm gonna name it 6 through 10 for which ages this one is. There we go. And then I just click OK. I got space, but I want to decorate a little bit before I make my character. Could before I go to game level and change color through here, but that's kind of bland. I kind of want like a background grassy land or something. So I'm just gonna create an object. I click anywhere and then create. I'm gonna name this grass. And then I'm gonna go physics, make it not solid, because I don't want to get my character stuck on it. Go back to properties. And then I'm going to edit sprite here. And this one, they'll go to the grid on the right side here. I'm just going to erase everything. Then I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to do kind of like a slightly bluish green, kind of faded. Click OK. And then click paint bucket. Fills my whole area. We'll lower the grid size. Grab a darker color, a little bit more green. Okay, and then I'm just going to add some grass in here. And I'm going to take this color, just make it a little bit darker, kind of gray side, so I can like add some shadows. It's a little too dark for me. Take that green again. Click OK. There we go. That's what I want. And then fix the color I missed right here. Click OK. There's my grass. Go place it right here. I actually don't like that. I'm going to edit it again. Edit the sprite. Pick this color again. Okay. Paint bucket. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, so I want to play this everywhere. So I'm gonna click on this one right there, click clone, and then just keep on clicking, holding my click down, place these tiles everywhere. Okay, so there's my grassy area. Now, if you haven't heard me say this before, every time we add something, we want to test it. This is so if we ever code something or design something that like, we design a bunch of things or code a bunch of things at one time and we go to test it and a bunch of things are broken, it'll be very hard for us to track what is broken exactly. So it's really good to test every now and then. I'm gonna test it now, look at it, yep, looks like how I want to look. We're good at a game. Works. So yeah, we want to test it. You just test it right away. So now what I want to do next is add a character. I'm just going to click anywhere again, and then create, and the name is player. Player. And then I'm going to edit sprite. I'm going to browse. This one, I'm not going to make a sprite. I'm just going to choose one. And I'm going to be, what do I want my player? I'm going to make my player a dog. Here we go, dog. And click OK. Here's my dog. I'm going to move it onto here. Test. There's my dog. And a game. So now I want to add some properties to this. But first, I want to go to physics right here. And then under physics, it's solid. Okay, good, good. And then I want to make movable, but not affected by gravity at all. And then there's a little part about collision shapes. Now collisions are like these little visible shapes around our objects, like our players or enemies or trees and stuff. And what's happening is that pretend you do see them in your mind. Like you see like this little square around my dog right now, and pretend there's a tree nearby with a square around it. Those two squares, when they touch, tells the logic, hey, these two are overlapping, and it does whatever. So like a collision. So if one box touching the other box counts as a collision, and within our collision we'd say, hey, we can't move this character through this, so it stops there. Or something happens where like, oh, you activated a button when this collided this other box. Right there, and something happens. So this is this here. These are different shapes of that. I'm gonna make it a rectangle for this one. Here we go. And oops, click on it again, edit, and now I'm gonna add behaviors. So what I'm gonna do next is now our four-way movement. If you remember from our platformer game, we had like, you know, movement going on with our keys and velocity, all that stuff. It's kind of the same thing, but we're adding a little bit more to it. Now remember, when we want to add something to the game, we want to think about how that game mechanic is, a designer. So how do I want my players to interact with my game? If you think about it like other games, it's whenever they press a button on their controller, something happens. So here, I'm going to design keyboard actions by clicking keyboard right here. Here's key, because I'm using a computer keyboard. And when you press a button, something happens. So I got a key right here. The keys, you can always choose whatever key you want. For the platform, we did arrow keys. This time I'm going to do WASD, that is W-A-S-D, which is very common for a lot of computer games to use for movement. I'm going to name that one D. And then I'm going to do number. There's number. I'm going to set the speed to 4. This is my speed value. And then under properties, there's velocity. There we go. So when I press the key down, so that's when it's pressed, up is when it's not pressed, it goes to 4 value right here. And then there's this thing, now where do I put this? I could put forward, like with the platform we did forward, but I'm actually gonna do X and Y. So X is our movement from left and right, Y is our movement from up to down. Positive X means you're going to the right, negative X means you're going to the left, positive Y means you're going down, negative Y means you're going up. So this is positive number 4. I'm gonna go to the right. Now if I play, press that key. Oh no, it's still going. I'm not touching the key. You need to fix something there. So we wanna think much more detailed of what we're doing. So if I press a key, it makes something happen. But if I'm not pressing a key, then nothing should happen. That's what I want. So now I'm going to go grab another number, object math number, 0. So when we go up, nothing happens in the movement. I'm going to push play. I press the key, now let go. It's not moving. Now we need to do the rest of the keys. So I could duplicate a bunch of these, but I'm not going to do that. I will have to duplicate keys. So 1, 2, 3, 4. May look like I didn't press it a bunch of times, but I did. Oops, too many times. Just click on it and delete it. There we go. So that's D, A, W, S. So I'm going to put this right in the center right here. So for all the ups, I always want these to set to 0. So I can just connect all these to 0 right here. Now A, which is left of D, I want that to go to negative. So I'm going to create another number right in here. And then I'm going to do -4 because I'm going to the left on the X. So A, in, out on the X. And I press play, moving left and right. You can see when I press the key, it activates. So I hit the D key, activates with the A key, and it activates here. I got my dog moving left and right, but not up and down. So I need to do that next. You can see him activating here, but nothing's happening. So I could, just tick down and set it up here, have less numbers set. But the thing is, this number right here, from W to 4 here, is set to X on here. Then moving up and down, and I press this key, I'm only going to go left and right instead of up and down. So unfortunately, I have to create another number. I'm going to create 2 of them. This one will be 4. This one will be -4. Yeah. So W is for going up. Think about what number I'm going to use here. Going up on Y, that means we are going negative. So I'm going to flip these. Now, I could just have them tangled, but Now in there. And then S, we're going down, so we're going positive. There we go. And the out goes to Y right here. Oops. Out goes to Y right here too. There we go. This is all in the way. There we go. Moving the side right here. Then test with the lower left play button right here. And there we go. Now I got movement. All directions. There's something fun that happens here. And I press 2 keys at the same time. Like this way. Now, like, oh, you notice it's like really fast versus just going up and down. It's because it's adding both of the diagonal numbers together to 8 or 0 or depending what you set it to, but it's adding them together so it's really fast. We could program it where if you press 2 keys together at the same time, not program, but set the behavior that way. It doesn't do that, but we're not gonna have enough time to do that. Now, another thing that happens that's interesting here, if I press a key and then another key at the same time, then let go, it stops my character altogether, even though I'm still pressing this other key. That's because we have all this going to 0 right here. We technically want this to be separate zeros. I'm just gonna have today this way because simple. But if you want to have a little bit more flowing movement, you want to create zeros for each of these. And have these individually set to 0 on the X or Y when the keys let go. So I go, press another key and let go, and it sets at 0 there. So yeah, it's an unfortunate movement, but I'm okay with this for now. So we gotta move in there. Now, what do we need next? Probably need something else to interact with. Before I do that though, I'm gonna put some blocks around, because if they play this now and go forward, I can go off screen. I don't want that. So I'm gonna create another block. I'm just gonna name this block for now. I'm gonna keep it this one sprite right here. Physics, and this is solid. Just gonna keep it as that. There we go. and then clone. These are outside of my camera view, so I am fine with this. Yep. Accidentally made too many over there. Oops. Done cloning. I'm gonna delete these extra ones over here. And now if I play, I can't go off screen now. Okay, there we go. So now I'm gonna click on this again and edit. Behaviors. I'm actually a little bit annoyed by the 0 here, so I'm gonna create 2 different zeros. So I'm gonna keep these with the X's right here. I'm gonna create another 0 right here. Do that for the Y. Now I can easily move in different directions. There we go. Test again. Make sure it's all working just fine. If you haven't noticed, when I like collide my dog into the block over here, it slows down. So I'm just gonna uncheck movable right there and click play. Oops. Nope, that's not gonna work. We have to add it's movable because we don't want to go through blocks. So movable, not affected by gravity. Okay, text again. There we go, it can't go off screen. So another thing we're gonna add here is now other people or other enemies. So I'm just gonna click anywhere for now and then create. I'm gonna name this enemy. Right now I'm gonna name it easy enemy. And edit sprite, browse, characters. I'm gonna choose this weird one right here. It's just kind of weird object in here. Click OK. Physics is solid, movable, circle. I'm going to do square actually for this. Click OK and move it in right here. Test. Good. Kind of push it around. No. For fun, but that's about all it do. We kind of want it to move around randomly. So I'm going to click on it, edit, and then behaviors. So think about again how you want to do. I want this to move around randomly every few seconds or so. You might not think about seconds at all or time when you first like putting this together. That's all right, but you want to think about everything, every single detail of what's going on. So it helps you create your behavior for your game. I want it to move every few seconds ago, like every 10 seconds, I want it to move randomly at different directions. So there's a thing called timer under triggers on the left side here. There's timer. And I could do the same thing like I coded my dog. I'm going to grab a number. I'm going to set it to like 4. And then velocity, which is under properties, velocity. There we go. And then if I click on the timer right here, it has a delay of 1/10 of a second. So it goes off 1/10 seconds. Well, 10 microseconds, but it only goes off once right now. Once I click repeat forever, then it's always going off. So it's always randomly moving. And then I put this right in. And I put this for the X and Y. There is a problem here. I'll let you guys think about it, what's going to happen. And if I say, oh, it just goes on forever that way. I kind of don't want that to happen, but that's happening because of this number 4 right here. So this isn't going to work out. I'm just going to delete this number, but we want these 2 still. So what I want to happen is to randomly change numbers. So You might not know this, but there actually is a randomizer component. It's actually on a Logic and Math. Under Logic and Math, there's random. You click on it. There you go. I could have it just, set once through these, both with X, Y, but it's always going to go have the same number for the X, Y. I want the numbers to be different from going up and down, left and right. Now, if you don't know how this works, if you click on it and click what's this, it opens up some documentation of how it works. So random block generated random numbers used for adding unpredictable behavior for a game. And it's got like min value, maximum value, new, generates a new random number between min and max. It sends to output. So every time a timer sets off, I want to change numbers. I accidentally deleted it. So out to new right here. And if I click on this, it gives me some properties. I want my minimum value to be -2, +2. So this is the speed of left and right or up and down movement. I'm going from negative to positive, so I can go up and left on X or Y. Out to X. I don't want it to be the same numbers though for both times. So I'm going to create another random. There we go. U out to Y. I click on this again. -2. -2 again. Click OK. And then test. There's my character moving around. It's kind of stuck right now. Move this. Click OK. I'm going to move this player towards the center right here and play. It's kind of going off to the up side right there. Edit. I'm going to go to my behaviors. I'm going to test it again actually. Okay, it's going up. I'm going to test it for the behavior. Play. It's going up again. Stop, play. It's going up. Why is it always going up? -2 to +2, -2. Oh, that's why. I did -2 to -2. Oops. Click OK, play. There we go. That's going all different directions. That's what I wanted. I kind of let something happen when it collides to my dog right here. Like what if it gets hurt? I don't want the dog to get hurt, but sometimes bad things can hurt you. So I could add health now, but we won't have enough time to add health. So I'm going to stop this for now. And I'm going to add a collision. I don't have enough time for health, but I have enough time just to add a sound. So I'm adding collision right here. If I click on it, it gives me options. I'm going to choose collision with my player. And then if I go to properties, components? Yeah, components and the sound. I'm just going to play a sound for now. Next week I'll add health, but for now it's just going to be a sound. Play sound. Here we go. And click on it. You can choose a sound for here. New 8-bit sound. OK. OK, and then test. You can watch this set off as a touch. You won't hear a sound, but that's only because I hear it. If I go run, it just made the sound. Made the sound. Yeah. So we're good there. We're done. What could we add that makes this game a little more complicated? Could add an enemy. Maybe an enemy that follows the dog night player instead. Let's do that. So go anywhere, click, create, edit sprite, browse. You can choose whatever you want. I'm gonna pick the bat. Click OK. And I name this hard enemy. Yeah. And click OK. I'm gonna drag it in. Test. Yep, that's there. Edit game. Okay. And click on my bat, edit, no physics. It's movable, not affected by gravity. I keep it a circle. That's good there. And then I want to edit its behaviors. So it could do the same thing again, move randomly. That's not what I want. Think literally what I want again. So over time, I said over time, so we're gonna use a timer. Every now and then it's gonna point itself to the player and follow it. I said point. I'm gonna go find point at, there we go, point. And it's moving, so I wanna add velocity. Yeah. And I could add all these together, but nothing's happening, you know? I could just do, you know, move. Oh, I need a number. Because I need a number to activate the velocity. A number. I'm gonna have it maybe 3. Oops. 3. So I want that repeating on the timer. So it goes in value and then moves forward all the time. Press play. It just moves. See? Just moved. Watch the bat. Just go that direction. It's just going one direction, that's all. So we want it to face our dog. Do you remember from our space game last week, we had our ship face our mouse as we, you know, pointed around? We're gonna do that again because we're a little bit different. So we need our player's position. How do we do that? There's a thing called extractor. There it is right here. Extractor, they go, what's this? Extractor block retrieves a property from an object and output its value, wherein the properties of the project is useful to compare relative positions, check an object's visibility, rotation, speed. That's good. So this here will grab our information from our dog for here for our bat to point at to our dog. So if I click on this, it gives me options. X, so that's left and right value. I'm gonna do from another object, player, and click OK. I'm gonna do that right here. Oh, there we go. Value, X, and I press, okay, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening at all. That didn't work out how I wanted. It's because we need to do a little bit of fixing here. And to do that, I want to add another value here. Go in here and then click on from another object, player. Player 1, click OK. Value of RY. Click play. Now it's pointing at my dog. See how it's just kind of rotating around? But something's odd's happening here. We kind of need to change our timer a little bit. So I'm going to click stop. I'm going to click this. I'm going to have it repeat every one. Every single one. Now play. Now it's always, see, it's always updating, pointing towards my dog here. Oh, it's got me. So I need to change something here. Not change anything, but we're good here. I'm gonna add a collision too. You know, check, you know, whenever this collides with my dog, something happens. I'm gonna do the same thing again. Where, okay. Making sure these are okay. X, oh, I forgot to change this to Y. That's what's going on. Here we go. Yeah, so I got this collision and then I'm gonna do a sound. Choose sound, effects, 8-bit, image. And I'm gonna do alarm. Maybe not, maybe beep. I'm doing a different sound so I know what's going on. Play, play. So that, you see that one off. Here we go, we got our 2 enemies moving about. Okay, it's all good to go. Now I play over here. I got things moving around and stuff. So next week, that is all we're doing for today. But next week, we'll add maybe some defenses for the dog to protect itself and health. And then that'll be it for our game design section. Anyways, we'll see you next week. Have a good afternoon, everyone.